Hello and welcome back to my orchid life. Appreciate you coming by and seeing what's going on today. Today is going to be a long one, just a heads up. I am going to unmount my Schilleriana, Phalaenopsis schilleriana, that I received from Yoshi at Plants and Other Things on the 30th of July. It's been in my home for a little over a month. Well, a little less than a month. She came with this leaf that was growing, so it's extended. And there's actually two plants on here. So there's this one and this one. At first I thought maybe it was a keiki, but after I took all the moss and everything off, I realized it was two. It looked like two, but just to make sure. And I have soaked her for the last couple of hours, trying to get this mount nice and wet. Because the idea is I'm going to break the mount up, because it is pretty easy to bend around, and try to damage as few roots as possible, because you can see a lot of these roots have grown into the mount, but they're not that deep. So I think if I break it up, I can possibly save most of them. I'm gonna put one on a mount because next spring I am going to send it to Bobby from Cloud Forest Vibes, Orchids and More. And then I am gonna keep one, and I'm probably gonna put mine in an Orchitop pot or mount. I haven't decided yet. Let me go ahead and start breaking up this mount and see what we can save. And I will fast forward over this. Actually, some of these, because I have soaked them for a while, if I do it really gently, and you know what, let me use the tag to slide under and see if I can't just get it to release itself from the mount. Let's try that. Okay, well that was a lot easier than I was expecting it to be. Get my tag back out of there. There we are. All right, well that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought that was going to be a more drawn out process. So while we're letting the fiskars air out, let's just look and see what we have on each one of them. So this is the one piece here, and she has extended root growth right here, as well as a lot of nice healthy roots here. She has a few that are desiccated that we'll cut off, but overall she looks pretty good. And then this is the second piece here that again has lovely roots, and I think this is the one we'll mount and encourage some root activity. Looks like she has a leaf she's trying to grow out, so we'll see. And again, she's got a few that we need to cut off, but not as bad, like I said, as I was expecting. I was expecting to spend quite some time on getting her off of that mount, and there was one root that was growing up into the hole that I was very, very careful with. It was this one here, actually, to make sure we didn't break it. So, I'll just wipe my gloves off. I even made sure I had my coffee, because I was just expecting to be here for quite some time. All right, well, that actually worked out in our favor. All right, so let me just cut off what needs to be cut off, and then we will get these girls potted and mounted. And then by next spring, it should be established enough that I can go ahead and send her on. I don't want to send her now, just one, because of the heat. And I want to make sure that she's not going to die before I send her away, because that would not be nice to send someone a plant that is. All right, so here is what we are left with on this girl here. I didn't cut that much off. We have quite a bit of roots to go on there, so she's going to be okay. And then this one here also has, make sure there's nothing getting up in that crown, has quite a few lovely roots here as well. There we go. She had a piece of moss stuck in there. I had to make sure to get out. And let me just stick this towel in here just to make sure there is nothing in that crown. And I flipped her upside down. All right, so I will let them sizzle for a little bit. I will clean this up. We'll come back with the mounts, the moss, and if I decide to put one in the Orchitop pot, and then we'll see how they look. All right, so we are going to do the mount first, and I've already put the little hooky with the tag on there. And this mount already has 2 little holes right here in the center. And I'm thinking I can just put her like so, and then that'll give the roots plenty. I can secure her on there with maybe 1 or 2 wraps, and then that'll give the roots, because all of these at the end were used to being out and on the mount, and it'll give them a chance to get back on the mount, and just put a little bit of moss right up here for the moisture. So that is what we are going to do. And I will fast forward over actually mounting her, and then we'll look at her after I repot the other one, which I have decided I'm gonna put in an Orchitop pot. I just think she'll be pretty in there. Of course, where I'm gonna put her, I don't know. I'm running out of shelf space, but I'll figure it out. All right, well, there she is on her mount, and she is tagged, and on the other side I do have today's date on there for Bobby. There we go. Her to the side, and now let's get our Orchitop out and get the other one mounted up. So I'm going to put her in large bark perlite, and there's a little bit of charcoal in there because she is coming off of a mount, so she's used to a nice airy environment, quick dry cycle, all that jazzy stuff. So I am going to leave this leaf on here. She's been absorbing it since she got here, so I'm going to leave it on there. And again, I do have some rock at the bottom of the Orchitop just to help with water not staying too much on the bark. I'll put a little bit at the bottom and then fill around, and then we will look at her when I'm done. All right, well, here she is. And at first I thought I wasn't able to leave a root that I could observe out, but I was able to have this one on the side. I was trying to get some of these over here on the side. They got buried. There she is in her new little Orchitop setup. And again, with all of this air and then the large bark, she should still get her quick dry cycle. And she might pout on me for a little bit. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure where I'm gonna put her. I'll find somewhere. I know they don't require a highlight, but I mean, obviously they need good light. I'll try to find somewhere to put her where she's getting the same amount of light she was getting before. And then here is the one on the mount. Yeah, I thought turned out pretty good. Because like I said, these right here are used to not being in the moss. The ones that where I put the moss is kind of where the roots have been used to having that moss. So I'm thinking with this fresh setup, fresh moss, getting all cleaned up, this is going to encourage them to go ahead and start producing some more growth. And this wire right here is super loose on the crown right here. I know it looks like it might be tight, but it's super loose. You can actually move it. The moss is actually and the roots are actually what's holding her on this mount. So with that, we will follow their progress. Hopefully come spring, I will be sending Bobby a much better looking plant. I mean, this one looks great, don't get me wrong, but I would like to send him one with more growth on it. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions. If I skipped over something that you want to know more about, let me know. And I will see you guys on the next one.